Hello, YouTube. Welcome to Monday's edition of the Breakfast Club. I'm Got That Funk. I want to thank you for joining me. Bioinnocence has brought up a really interesting topic this week, and I'm glad we're talking about it because it's actually made me change my mind a couple times back and forth as I've thought about it over the past few days. What makes a person a person? Can we extend the title of person to non-human animals or artificial intelligences? Extraterrestrials, if we should ever contact with them, would we consider them to be persons, people, whatever? I think in the case of artificial life forms from other planets that were as intelligent or more intelligent than us, it would be easy to call them people, and that would only be assuming that they wanted to be called people. They might not. They might have a different word for themselves, for their race, and they might want that word to be acknowledged rather than our word. So that's one thing. But artificial intelligences, I have given that one some thought all my life, virtually. And the thing is, human beings are very good at sort of projecting personalities onto inanimate objects all the time anyway. So we have a habit sort of psychologically to do that. And it would be very difficult for me to know where when we've programmed a computer so well that it can mimic intelligence so well that we can't actually tell the difference, that it's not as intelligent as we think it is because it's only doing what it was programmed to do, etc. But what makes a person in terms of a non-human animal? And for me, the answer to that is if you can develop a intimate personal relationship with another entity, then both must be persons. So that would include non-human animals. It would also include artificial intelligences. It would also include extraterrestrial life. Um, if you can have a intimate personal relationship, if you can maintain and create some level of personal understanding between you and something else, then you're both people. Now, that is a sort of colloquial definition of person. It doesn't necessarily fit the legalistic definition of person as regards rights and responsibilities and so on. And that's because it's my opinion that no one has rights unless they proclaim them for themselves. And when they are unable to proclaim them for themselves, and this is in the human population, they have advocates who proclaim them on their behalf and protect them on their behalf. And so if we're going to decide that we wanted to call animals persons, they would have to have their advocates because they can't proclaim their rights themselves. And we already have that. We already have animal rights activists. So I think maybe without really realizing it, maybe we do consider an awful lot of non-human animals to be persons. But as far as having the rights of their own, again, I think anybody, any entity whatsoever who can't proclaim their own rights or have any concept of their own rights requires an advocate to have any rights at all. Otherwise, they don't. But really, my overall thinking on this subject has been that it almost doesn't really matter whether or not we decide to call this animal or that animal a person, because what matters is our relationship with that animal and the results of that relationship with that animal. That's what matters. Our actions towards non-human animals matter more than whether or not we label them persons, because you could label, human beings are pretty bad to other human beings already, so labeling animals as persons might not necessarily benefit the animals in any particular noticeable fashion, just making ourselves feel better. Because again, if we don't treat the animals better, then calling them persons isn't helping the situation, and it doesn't help us either. So yeah, that's my thinking. Now I'm really looking forward to seeing what JJ Talks has to say on this subject, because I'm pretty sure JJ Talks is a vegan, so she might have an interesting take on whether or not non-human animals are people, and some interesting reasoning for it. So I'm looking forward to that one, and I'm also looking forward to seeing what you've got to say about my video down there in the comments section. Let me know what you think, and yeah, thanks for watching. I look forward to seeing you again next week. Till next time, may all your ups and downs be ups.